What's good? What's popping? What's going on with the people, man? Tuesday morning, it's the cook up. I don't know how y'all feeling, but we feeling good. We hope we looking good. And hey, man, it's time to get up in the kitchen with me and my boy Rock, man. A lot of things going on, mixed bag today. You know, we're gonna bring y'all a little bit of these hit rates on these breakout players in 2025, man. You gotta trust the process. My boy Rock put in the work. He found the gems. And now it's time to bring them out, put them in the watch. You know what I'm saying? We're going to put the gems in the watch, bro. We're going to shine on them like that, man. But today is the day, man. We glad we here. It's Tuesday morning. Rock, man, how you feeling, Playboy? Let us know why we here today and why the people are going to love this show, brother.
What is cooking? A good looking fam, South Harmon. Thank you guys for tuning in this morning. We're going to be going through, like Fizz was alluding to, this research that I've been working on with these breakouts for 2025. I looked at all these years going all the way back to 2017, Fizz. All the different top 12 players at each different position. So we're going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at the latest news and notes from around the league. Training camp just opened up this past week. A lot has already happened. So we're going to be talking about that. And then if we have time, there is a segment at the very end of the show that I'm actually looking forward to as well. I haven't seen anyone do it. So
let's get it. Well, guess what? They ain't do it because we ain't do it, brother. You know how we do.
That's
man.
Right.
We innovate these things, man. We plant these seeds and let them grow, and hopefully, you know, we plant this one, and maybe we see it in other places, maybe we don't, but at least they gonna come here and get it from us. So, without further ado, Rock, we glad we here. We glad the people here, and again, man, we appreciate y'all for always staying tapped in. So, hey, man, let's get it popping.
I want you to put the word out there that we back up.
Hey, they wrote me off, I ain't write them back. Nah. Follow me, but don't double tap. I ain't liking that. You subscribe, I monetize. Now who's striking that? Wanna see the contract? Who got the rights to that? It's my story. I spent my whole life on life. Time's up. Shador Sanders with the rollie in the armor. I could do this shit with my eyes closed. The main attraction don't come at me with no side show. I'm selling high, they wanna buy low.
Hey, man, we back again, man. I like giving a little bit of energy, a little bit, you know, in the early parts. I like to keep it low, keep it clear, just so we don't be too loud in these people's ear, man. But now it's time to kick some flavor in your ear, baby. You on the real part, the real segment of the game, of the show, and then we're gonna make sure y'all have a good one, man. So, breakout candidates in 2025, that is the main topic of the day. But we got a little bit of other news too, man. Nick Chubb, is he going to break out himself, right? Is he going to rejuvenate that backfield in Texas, in the Houston side anyway? We got Nick Chubb, we got Woody Marks, and, you know, we'll break down what we think of him. The whole Joe Mixon thing going on anyway. And any other thing that pop up, man. If y'all got something in the chat y'all want us to talk about that's going on with your team personally. I know we got Terry McLaurin out there waiting to get paid. And from what I just read, Rock, he said he want DK Metcalf or higher money. So, we'll see what's up with that too, man. But today is gonna be a good day because we here, y'all here, and the people here, and you over here on the South Harmon vibes, baby. So, Rock, man, I know you gave us your introduction, how you feeling, how you doing, but hey, man, let's turn the music down and let's get this thing rolling, man. Let's get it started, get it popping. I know I brought this up before in this little 5-second segment that I just had, and I guess we can get straight to it, man. Let's go ahead and just talk about Joe Mixon, Woody Marks. Where we at?
Oh, wait a second, Fizz. We can't be doing that. We forgot something very important. We forgot to let the guests into the restaurant.
Oh, damn. You know what's so crazy, Rock? You know what's so crazy?
Guys, Fizz is so excited for this show.
I wanted to know the next man up so bad that I forgot the people that were already sitting down. Goodness gracious. Take this down.
Oh, my God.
Listen, man, what is going on this morning? Your boy's tripping. I apologize because, you know, we can't start no show without showing the ones that's here love, man, huh? Let's see what's good with this, man. Let's see. My boy Jake said he pregame, and he said, I guess when I said, Jake, what do you do in your pregame? And he said he's not actually drinking before, at least not every time. So at least we know he drinks a little bit. But he ready to get hyped, get cooked up with us. J-Cap is in the building. He say he ready for some Trey Harris talk, man. Hey, maybe we talk about some Trey Harris. I know Quinshon Junkins can't catch. And I say Quinshon Junkins. Quentin Johnston. I'm sorry. Quentin Johnston can't catch, man. But hey, man.
Quinshon can't catch either, dude. So
yeah, he can't catch the break. He can't catch the break, right?
That's what it is. Yeah.
But hey, man, we talk about a little bit of Trey Harris, give you a little bit of love on that, J Cap. We got my boy Dustin in here. What's good, brother? Pops, man. You know he always on time, man. He got the Rolly watch on, man. And Patty Mills, he said he on a Tuesday. He trying to see what's up with a mock. Hey, man, maybe we might bring that to you, brother. We're going to see, man. We're going to see what's good. And you want to know them words of wisdom, Rock. So I hope you got it ready, man. You know, I'm pretty sure my boy do, man. I don't know if
I have something for you guys.
I don't know if he freestyles it or if he writes it down, but just know my boy got them words, all right? So Shimmy said he got the mock draft on Sundays. Patty missed out. He definitely did 2 weeks in a row. And let me see. We got my boy Eric Brown in here. He said he may be biased, but he think Fat Jericho killed it the last mock, man. So it seems like the people love these mocks, Rock. We might got to get back in these streets, but till then, let's enjoy this kitchen, man. Terminal in here. I'm gonna get back to you today, Terminal. I saw your message, bro. Like yesterday was a long day for your boy. If you talked to me yesterday, you know what I had going on. Little bit of sleep, whole lot of work, man. But we here today, no matter how tired I am, Rock. We in the kitchen, baby. So now let me get to what I was supposed to do, because I definitely forgot about my people. I appreciate you for reminding me, Rock. But
they were banging on the door, being like, "We want to come in. We're hungry. Come on in."
For sure, man. What's up? What's good, my boy Voorhees, man? And yeah, man. Like I said, let's get back to what I accidentally almost forgot the people for. But Woody Marks, Joe Mixon, next man up. Joe Mixon. I said, well, Joe Mixon, Woody Marks. Nick Chubb and Woody Marks. Joe Mixon is the one with the injury, foot fracture. Of course, older guy, older running back. He's not a spring chicken. He's not like one year and hey, you could bounce back and do whatever you want. This is the older you get, the slower those things heal and the bones aren't the same. So with Joe Mixon kind of having a resurgent breakout season in his own right last year with the Texans, I'm pretty sure, Rock, I don't know how much Joe Mixon you had, but last year I stayed away. I stayed away from him, thinking, you know, he didn't have the best season in Cincinnati the year before he left. So the Houston Texans taking him. This is just we need more veterans around CJ Stroud to kind of, you know, we had a good run on rookie season, CJ Stroud, but year two, let's just establish him, right? They went and got Stephon Diggs. They went and got Joe Mixon. So I thought that was the formula of just adding some veteran presence in the locker room and a little bit more guaranteed talent. But seeing him come into this season, I thought they added Nick Chubb, right? So now they're adding more veteran talent and leadership around CJ Stroud for a bounce back season in year three for the quarterback. But Joe Mixon gets his injury. Nick Chubb is there coming off of an injury. A lot of people wrote him off. Seems to be he didn't write him back because it seems in training camp practices, man, Joe Mixon is trying to remind people that, hey, before this injury, man, I was one of them dogs in this league. So I know he's your guy, Rock. You seem to be always wanting to draft him and praise him. And as you should, Nick Chubb is a dog. But what you think so far about this Joe Mixon injury? I know you're not keen on players bouncing back from injuries, which you say you cut slack for Nick Chubb a little bit. So what's your stance on this situation right now as far as Joe Mixon's side? And what's next? Who's the next man up? And what do we trust in his backfield, brother?
Well, I thought that Joe Mixon was actually going to fall off last year. I wrote about it last offseason.
We all did, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, he proved us wrong, man.
I was pretty surprised, to be honest with you. I thought Mixon, Eckler, Connor, even Kamara, because they've been so productive, you know, throughout their entire careers. I have a little stat here from PFF historian Tej Seth. He said that RBs have negative rushing yards over expected after their rookie contracts in year 5. Some of the elite rushers can keep it up in year 6, but it is so hard to stay productive in year 7. So I thought that for sure Joe Mixon was going to have a huge fall off. He's had so much tread on the tires. I mean, he's been like the only RB that I can think of throughout the Joe Burrow and Andy Dalton, type of era in Cincinnati. So he definitely surprised me, but you know what? We're never wrong, Fizz. We're just a year too early.
That's it.
I think with Mixon, that's probably definitely going to be the case this year. I don't think he's going to have the year that he had last year, especially with injuries.
Yeah.
And with this happening with Joe Mixon, I think where we need to start drafting Nick Chubb, he's going around the same area in dynasty startups, maybe afterwards as J.K. Dobbins. But now I think in your redraft and dynasty formats, Nick Chubb needs to be going ahead of J.K. Dobbins. Because let me ask you, Fizz, if J.K. Dobbins maybe at best is a 45% RB share committee in Denver, that's not going to be the case in Houston. I think it's going to be like the whole Nick Chubb show. He's going to have the vast majority of carries because Ugumbwale, he's like a third down
special teamer kind of guy.
Yeah, he's a pass catcher specialist. And I have no idea what to expect for Woody Marks. He was kind of in the middle when it came to rookie prospects. I think he has a lot of upside, but that's a lot to expect from a rookie RB coming in. He wasn't one of the top profiles. So I think Nick Chubb needs to be drafted ahead of where J.K. Dobbins is gone right now in drafts. He is coming off an injury himself, but I mean, he looks good right now in camp. The thing is, though, do not be surprised if we see him in week one. I'm like, oh man, Nick Chubb looks kind of slow, compared to all these other guys. 100% strength, 100% speed. I think we should put a little bit of expectations, temper them for Nick Chubb this upcoming season.
Well, I just say this, Rock, and the same way like you just said about the J.K. Dobbins thing, when him and Chubb being so close in drafts, I think it's pick your poison, right? To me, it's get your guy. Now, if you like both guys, then you have to make that decision. But I feel like, to me, when we have a situation like a Nick Chubb, even last year, Stephon Diggs, I don't know if you remember, last year, all season, I was Stephon Diggs all the way. One, because I'm a Stephon Diggs homer. But two, I just feel like, bro, when you have a player that is in a different situation with something to prove, and you know that this player always wants to prove people wrong and prove themselves right, I just always like betting on those guys, man. I just think a guy like Nick Chubb, after coming through the first time when he suffered the first injury, I think it was a foot injury, and then he came back, and then he tried, and he got injured again last year. I think Nick Chubb he's feeling that point in his career where people forgot about him. Like, oh man, he's getting old now. It's time to hang it up. And I think he wants to remind everyone, like, hey, you think it's time for me to give up, but I'm not giving up on anything. So the Cleveland Browns moved on from him after they paid him. And I think Nick Chubb, man, if I want to bet on a player to just say, hey, you wrote me off, but I ain't write you back. Like, I know I'm a story kind of guy. I love, like, that championship story type of thing, but I just like betting on people that I believe bet on themselves. And I think Nick Chubb, even looking at him in training camp, I look at the videos, and it's just training camp, but I'm with you on a slow start, right? Game one, he goes out there, he has a 10 rushes for, 40 yards, then okay, cool. I get it. But I believe if Joe Mixon is missing time and they don't plan on bringing him back and rushing him back into the field, you give Nick Chubb 1 or 2 games, man, of just solid work, I think he's going to really show. I say this. If you give him that one lane where he could break 30 yards, that's a believer. You know how you get a little skeptical about what's going on, Rock, and then you shoot that half-court shot and they go in, and now the rest of your shots keep going. I believe Nick Chubb just needs one of those runs where he sees daylight and he gets it, and it's over with, man.
It's the closest player I can think of with Nick Chubb as far as, like, when you open up that avenue, like what you're talking about, and he's just gone, you're not going to catch him as like Derrick Henry. Yeah. Now, with the number of injuries that he's had, I don't think he's like Derrick Henry, where Derrick Henry could still get up to 21, 22 miles per hour.
Sure, yeah,
insane. It is absolutely insane that Derrick Henry could still do that. But can he break off maybe 20 or 30 yard chunks? Absolutely. I think he can. And also, too, keep this in mind. If they get down to the goal line, I think it's going to be the Nick Chubb show where he can just punch it in, where he only has 5 yards to go. So I think he's still going to have some upside. And with an offense that is projected to go, take their team to the playoffs, they're going to have, a healthier offensive line. Their offensive line last year was terrible, Fizz. And they also have a new OC think Bobby Slowick, he kind of got figured out last year, and that's the reason why he's no longer with Houston. And Dustin is bringing up how Cole Popovich was on the staff in New England. He gave Dion Lewis and James White their RB12 in 6 seasons. So, and now he's in Houston. So I do look forward to this new OC staff, this new coaching staff in Houston. I think Houston's going to remind people, hey, we're not going away. It was fun with CJ Stroud having a rookie year that he did. We're going to put the league on notice this season.
And also, Rob, I like when you get guys like D'Amico Ryans as your head coach, you're pretty much saying, I got a guy that believes, right? They brought him back because they believed in him being a coach. I like those old stories of just getting guys that used to play for you. And he looks like one of those, not saying no nonsense type of coach, but he looked like when he's there, you can believe what he's saying. And I believe, as a fan of the game, I believe what he's doing. And looking at year one, if CJ Stroud breaking out, that convinced me enough to say, hey, man, I don't know if it was all on him or if it was on everybody, but the head coach is the one that's making everybody else believe. So why shouldn't I? And I think going to get a Joe Mixon, going to get a Nick Chubb, going to get a Diggs, going to get these veterans around these young players, you're making them believe and see that, hey, these old guys, man, they might not be as quick as you, but they've been in this game longer than you, and they know what's going on. So I love the formula. I love the new surge that they have in Houston because, they went years of just a bunch of nonsense at head coach and quarterback and all type of stuff. So
they have a good system there now in Houston because with Stroud going into his 3rd year, I'm super excited about that. I've already talked about it before. He's one of the most accurate QBs in the NFL right now. Nico Collins, he takes a step forward. I think he already is elite, but I'm not sure if the rest of the league knows that he's elite. When they're talking about Jamar Chases, when they're talking about Justin Jefferson, talking about CeeDee Lamb, I want people to also start including Nico Collins. If he doesn't miss 5 games last year, him and Stroud hit it off where the offensive line is healthy. And Higgins might be one of the wide receivers that actually is the most productive of this whole class. So if you have all these elite, this elite passing offense, Nick Chubb can really benefit by being the main RB in that offense as well. So I am actually pretty excited. I'm glad that the Cleveland Browns, are saying, all right, we don't want you anymore, because now Nick Chubb can finally run and flourish in an actually good team. So.
And think about this, bro, before we move on from this Texans backfield and overall the team. Think about if the Texans were in the AFC West, right? This would be so much harder to complete this task. Like, you got the Broncos and the Chargers and the Chiefs, and even Oakland is trying to, get themselves together. But they're in a division where, the Jaguars have a lot of hype. They got a lot of talent that they put around their quarterback. But the Texans have been, on paper anyway, the clear best team in this division. And they won the division to prove it. So now when you got the Titans kind of rebuilding, you got the Colts all over the place, and then you still had the Jaguars still trying to figure it out. They're in a situation where, bro, it's not like it's impossible for them to win this division and kind of show the rest of the division like, hey, we still run this, and we're going to keep building on this run. So to go in the playoffs last year and beat the Chargers the way they did, I thought the Chargers gave this game away, really. But
it looked bad. They gave Justin Herbert his worst career game.
Yeah.
So,
that defense, man, that was one of the craziest games I think I've seen all playoffs, bro. That defense was on Justin Herbert like crazy. And CJ Stroud did nothing. That offense looked terrible, but that defense was not playing any games with.
He showed up when they needed to. So the first half was the Stroud show, and then the second half was the Mixon show where they really put it away.
Yeah.
Put it on ice. But no, I'm pretty excited for this team. D'Amico Ryans and CJ Stroud, they've made the playoffs every year. They've been in the NFL together. So,
but Rob, quick story. That game was so bad. I watched it on Nickelodeon. I watched the SpongeBob version, bro. It was pretty bad.
Well, that's the best version there is,
Hey, listen. Whenever it's a game that's just like, all right, man, let me just watch this on Nickelodeon, man. This thing is outrageous, man. So,
Dude, that GIF. I mean, I created a whole league called the Nickelodeon Bowl just because. Do you remember when it was the Dallas Cowboys and they were getting their freaking cheeks clapped? Do you
Rock.
remember the who was the last coach?
It was the Packers versus the
Maybe
Cowboys.
that's what it was. Who was the last coach that you guys had again? I can't remember his name. He was in Green Bay.
McCarthy. No,
Yeah.
McCarthy. Yeah.
With just like him with the devil horns, and he was blowing smoke out his nose because he was so pissed off.
Hey, Rock, listen, that game was so bad. I stopped caring. I just wanted us to hurry up and lose, and I just watched it on Nickelodeon so I could laugh because I was like, bro, this is a joke. This is terrible. But yeah, that the Nickelodeon one is wild. SpongeBob and Patrick being commentary, like I couldn't help but to watch it on Nickelodeon because that game was horrible, and I'm mad that you're making me relive this moment, my brother. All right, I'm not feeling this at all, man. Not feeling it, bro.
I'm looking at these Mike McCarthy pictures right now. Don't mind me. Sorry about that. We can move on to the next thing or any comments.
Jay Higgins is the next Vincent Jackson. I actually like that comparison, bro. V Jack was a dog. But before we totally move on, Rock, we did talk about next man up. I know you brought up Nick Chubb's value, his dynasty ADP anyway. Right now, we drafting. I know we do our marathon style drafting, so that doesn't really count. But if you have Joe Mixon right now, forget the draft. Let's just say you have Joe Mixon right now. What are you trying to do with your backfield? Are you trying to get a Nick Chubb? Are you trying to get a Woody Marks? Or you like what's your next move if you have Joe Mixon and you're kind of worried that this is not going to look good for a couple of weeks?
Oh man, because I really wonder if I go to keep trade cut, what Nick Chubb is going for. Do you think you could get him for a third, or do you think people are going to be like, "Nah, I want a second"?
I'm gonna be honest.
Because I want to give a second.
If I can get him for a third, I'm taking him.
Yeah, and I absolutely would too. The question is though, who do you think people are going to sell him for a third?
No, that's what I'm saying. If you give me Nick Chubb for a third, here you go. So I don't think he's going to sell for a third.
Yeah,
that's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think that's going to be tough.
I'm not even saying trade Nick Chubb. I'm just saying if you have him and you want to keep him, what are you willing to do with a Nick Chubb? I mean, not a Nick Chubb. I'm sorry. If you have Joe Mixon, we talking about Nick Chubb. I'm thinking about Joe Mixon this whole time.
Yeah, we skipped over Joe Mixon because I don't think you can do anything with him.
You're right. Yeah,
because he's hurt, and no one wants a hurt player, and no one's going to take him for at this point in time. People are going to be like, "I want to hear the news." Like, what if he's going to be out the whole year? So if you have Joe Mixon, RIP. I'm sorry about it. You're not going to be able to do anything with him.
You're right.
I hope just say your thanks and gratitudes for what he did for you last year. But
you're right. Right. It was good while it lasted, baby. He good while it lasted, man. Well, listen, we put the conversation up there. Hopefully y'all figure it out because we don't know. And I don't think nobody knows, but at least we're going to admit that we don't know. Just if you have if you have Nick Chubb and Woody Marks, congratulations. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can do is congratulate you because those are two pieces right there, man. But I will say, if I had those guys, I would be hitting up the Joe Mixon manager and say, hey, man, what you got? What you want to do? And see if you can make a deal, man. So I'm sure we're not saying nothing new, but we are saying what you got to do, baby. So let's go ahead and get that done.
We're not going to blow smoke up your ass and be like, oh, yeah, you have a chance with Joe Mixon if you just, we go to KTC and all this other bullshit. No, you're screwed. Sorry about it.
No. Come on, Rock. We ain't going to sell the people no dreams, man. We're going to sell them hope, but we ain't selling them dope, baby. You feel me? So let's go ahead and move on, man. Well, actually, no, this I want to bring this up, Rock. We're going to get into the main segment now. Ain't no point of waiting. We didn't give them the sampler. Now it's time to go ahead and get ready, get hyped. So kind of introduce us because you wrote this article, which we're going to bring up today, man. My boy wrote this article. For those that don't know, Rock does write articles, man. He's been writing the articles, and now he's just doing the content on the camera. But my boy love getting back in the studio and typing and writing, man. So kind of give us a breakdown of what we're about to get into for this NFL 2025 data for these breakout candidates, man. And then we'll bring out some of the players, get into some of the positions, and give the people what they need, man. But you give us an introduction to the article that you wrote and kind of the data that you want to bring out today, bro.
So I usually like to do research, Fizz. Almost all my articles I ever do research on is to answer a certain question that maybe we take for granted. Because I don't know how many times you hear in the fantasy football space where it's like, well, we should expect this wide receiver to break out at this time, this tight end to break out at, this year, so on and so forth. But I actually wanted to look at, does the data actually match up with what we talk about? So with the sample of this data, I looked at every top 12 finisher in PPR formats for each position from 2019 through 2024. And this is a continuation. Actually, one of the first articles, Fizz, that I wrote was about positional volatility. I wanted to look at who in the top 12 for each position were the returns. So people who, once did it before and are now back to being a top 12 guy, the repeats. So the guy who was last year in the top 12 is back for it again. And then the breakouts. So the first time ever at the top 12 at their position. So this is a continuation of research I did 2 years ago. That sample of data was from 2017 through 2022. So for this article, and you can check it out, you can check out all my articles going all the way back to when I first started with South Harmon Fizz. That's on the southharmonff.com website. So, and those are available for free. You guys don't have to pay anything. Spend, 30 to 40 hours of some of these articles. Some of these articles I've spent 3 whole months on. All that labor, all that hard work, you guys get that for free, man.
Show my boys some love, man. Show them some love. But Rock, I will say I put the link in the description too. So for those that
appreciate that,
can't figure out where the link is, where the website is, instead of typing it in, scroll down to the description. The link for this article is on there. Then you can just watch and look through all the other ones. And I know we brought up, Rock, that we weren't going to bring it up, but I do want to show it a little bit, brother. I want to show a little bit of it and see if we can get that cracking, bro. So 1 second, I do want to just kind of give the basics of what you wrote. Boom, boom. Are we in the way?
Ooh, there we go. Cool.
So, so we'll skim through it a little bit, and then we'll get us two back on the screen, and then we'll kind of just go through the players, bro. So,
I appreciate that.
No doubt. I got to show the work, brother. Sometimes people, they hear you talking, and they're like, oh, man, I forgot. What link did he say again? And, man, we giving it to you right here. I don't want to hear no excuses, all right? So, kind of break it down, Rob. Where we at? You want to start here? You want to go to the positions? What you want to do?
So, with the setup, I looked at 4 major things, Fizz. I looked at the breakout age, the breakout year, how many seasons until they had a breakout season, and how many total top 12 seasons they have had during their career. So when we look at the QBs, there were 32 in this sample. And as you can see right there, I was already going to ask you a couple of different questions. Like, who is the earliest one? It was Tom Brady. How many seasons has he actually had in the top 12? Fizz, he has had, if my eyes did not deceive me, does that say 17?
17, my boy.
17 breakout seasons. And you see that little asterisk right there. So I put an asterisk if a player got hurt or if they were the backup their first year and didn't get the starts the entire season. So if they missed any games with injury or they were a backup. So that's why also you'll see Patrick Mahomes. He has an asterisk right there next to it too, because he was the backup for almost the entire year. He only got 1 start at the very end of his rookie season.
Okay.
So I'm looking at all these different things, Fizz. And I actually wrote down on my notes, if you want the year-by-year percentages, go check out my article. We're already checking it out right now, so we can just get right into it.
Yeah, well, this is what I do, right? I don't want to show. I still want people to go check it out. So we're just gonna give we just gonna dip our toes in a little bit, give them a little bit of the what's going on in the recipe, and then we'll get us back and we'll just finish out through the show to talk about it. But I kind of just wanted to let you kind of break it down so they know it's what they expect when they click on it and read it, bro.
So without scrolling down, I'm just going to give the highlights.
Okay, yeah, because I still want you to ask what when we get to the next positions, ask them questions of who had what and what players. I still want to do that too. So go ahead, bro.
QBs, Fizz, had the second earliest breakout behind RBs. They were the highest percentage among all positions of breakouts in their second season. 43.75%, Fizz, of top 12 QBs broke out in their second year. 71.88% of all QBs broke out if you include their rookie and sophomore season. So QBs that broke out in year 3 or later, those are like the Geno Smiths or, just crazy outlier positions, Jameis Winston's. They had either career injuries or were just stuck behind established starters. Your Sam Darnold's, So one of the things I was just alluding to with that very first article that I wrote about positional volatility, 15% of top 12 players, Fizz, are breakouts. So 1.8 players. So we can expect this year, Fizz, about 1 to 2 players who have never been in the top 12 to actually be a breakout this season. And they're usually rookies in their second or third year, or not they want to be rookies then. They're rookies or a second or third year player who are known for their accuracy and elite rushing ability. So I do have some players that I think have a very strong case for being a breakout this year, Fizz. But just looking at this data right here, what are some of the things that maybe kind of surprise you? Or do you think this matches up with what we have seen in fantasy football?
Well, me and you talked about this before, but remember, we talked about the quarterback thing, and I thought we were talking about this. I still go back to that conversation. I didn't know we were talking about receivers at the time. But even the second-year quarterback thing, bro, a lot of times in today's game, we just want players to be so great year one, even though nothing around them looks good, nothing around them makes sense, especially the quarterbacks, right? When you take a quarterback at the 101, the 102, the 103, you just think automatically that the team is supposed to be so much better than what it was. But the problem is people don't understand they were drafted 101 because the team is bad. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing around them was really that good anyway, for the most part. So the thing I will say is I like seeing that the percentage. I didn't know that the percentage of the hit rate of 28%. That's kind of high, man, for year one, because a lot of teams aren't that good anyway. So I like that. What I thought maybe anyway of year two is so much higher, because it should be, now that we have a ground, we have a floor, we have a base, we understand the game, and maybe the team, instead of using their 101 on a quarterback, now they got to add pieces around this young quarterback that they drafted. So I like seeing that hit rate at the second year, because I believe that that's what we should be expecting. But I just hate that we expect year one for players that just come in, man, and change the game, because that stuff was 28%. So it is a good rate, but it's just like you can't expect a Caleb Williams, even with everything around him, to just come in and change the game, bro, because he didn't have everything as far as the coaching staff. You still need the coaching too. So I like seeing that second year is the one, because I believe that should be the one. And it gives me hopes for guys like Caleb Williams, guys like Michael Penix, and these other candidates that I'm sure you have listed down here.
But you know what's crazy to think about, Fizz, and why I went with the asterisks is, think about, what if Tom Brady had started his whole season? What if Patrick Mahomes had started his whole rookie season?
Yeah.
What if Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy, they were all on pace for being, starting their, what is it called? To being top 12 players their rookie years, if they had started the whole season. I know it's hard to say with Patrick Mahomes. I'm looking back on revisionist history. But Patrick Mahomes, if he would have started his whole rookie season, I think there is a good chance that he would have been a top 12 guy. You don't go from...
For sure.
Because he, in his second year, he had like 50 freaking touchdowns. So
crazy. It's
crazy to think that he just became an elite guy just by sitting one whole year. Maybe that's the case, but that 28% could be actually closer to 40%, Fizz, of those guys actually had full season. So the biggest thing I want people to take away from the QB section right here, and I'm going back to what I said, almost 72% of all QBs broke out their rookie or sophomore season. If you're going into year 3 and they haven't broke out yet, it might be time to say goodbye.
Yep.
Might be time to sell them. So do you have, Fizz? So I wrote down 4 QBs that I think have a pretty good chance of breaking out.
I was just going to say, let's get to the QBs, and then we'll go to what just me and you on back on the screen. But give us your breakdown of these QB candidates from first year, second year, and let us know what you got going on, bro.
Well, before I do that, I actually kind of wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Do you have any guys that maybe either are on that list or not on that list? I kind of wanted you to not look
On
for
the
breakouts this upcoming season. Who
breakouts
do you
this year.
think? Yeah, for a
Well,
top 12 performance.
well, this is the thing, bro. You know, me and you, we think so much alike. So I don't think,
Mhm.
like, when I read the article and I saw who you had, these are definitely all my guys. Um, I think JJ and Caleb 100% breakout. Uh, Cam Ward though, I got a little reservations about him, and I don't know if it's because of the situation or maybe just sleeping on him. Because I ain't gonna lie, through this whole process, Rock, I've continuously slept on Cam Ward, and it's nothing against him. It's just me personally. I've slept on him as a player, and a lot of it is just a situation. We know Tennessee is rebuilding. They're kind of trying to fix things. Treylon Burks just broke his collarbone again, so that's one less. Not saying he was a big weapon over there,
I
but
was about to say, Fizz, that might not have really
I know, I
changed
know, I
anything
know.
whatsoever.
I know, but I do love Calvin Ridley, and I believe Calvin Ridley has been kind of disrespected his whole career too, because he just came into the league at I think 25, so he's only like 29, bro, or 30 years old, but he only played like 5 years, so he's not really, and he kind of got suspended for 1 year, so it's not like Calvin Ridley is out here, man, at 30 years old, but he has 10 years of tread on his tires, so I think him and Cam Ward, especially for what I'm looking at in training camp, man, they look like best buds, best friends right now. So I would say my year one candidate. I don't know if I have a year one candidate. I don't know if I could put Cam Ward as a top 12. I'm not sure if I had to bet some money on those odds that I would bet it. I will say that. But
Yeah.
the year two guys, though, 100% Caleb and JJ. And I mean, even Drake May, man. I think Drake May can really change what's going on in New England if the defense allows it. I think the defense is really tough, so they're going to help him not have to put up a lot of points. But you got Bo Nix. I mean, this whole second class, bro. JJ, Caleb, Bo Nix, Drake, man, all those guys could interchange within each other. And if we suffer some injuries with some of those top 12 guys, you could put all four of those guys in there. And Michael Penix being your dark horse, though, which you have on the list. Of course, I love me some Drake London and Pitts, Playboy. So I'm with Michael Penix.
Mhm.
I'm with the whole
Yeah.
2024 class breaking into the top 12 if we have
Yeah.
circumstances of injuries or, just those guys just having outlandish seasons.
Yeah, and I think you do bring up a good point. See, with each of these guys that I put, they are candidates. These are not necessarily ones who I think
I like that.
are going to do it, because that's the thing that I've learned through just research and analytics, Fizz, is that these things are not predictive. We have a strong sample of data looking back over these, that's why I try to include the biggest amount of years as I can. This goes back to 2019. The previous one I did went back to 2017. So if there was going to be a guy that fits into this, who other than Cam Ward has the strongest chance as a rookie? Because
he's the one. He's the one.
I don't think it's going to be Dart, and I don't think it's going to be Shador or any other rookie that was drafted this year.
Yeah.
We have to remember that he is coming in with more production in starts than any QB I have ever evaluated, Fizz. He broke the record for most passing touchdowns. He had 156 in college, Fizz. He had 57 starts across 3 different schools. And when you see the way that he operates, he's got elite arm. He has awesome accuracy. But the craziest thing about it is when he operates, off platform, where he throws these crazy ass Patrick Mahomes-esque throws from different arm angles with that mobility. So yes, he does have not the best group of weapons, but why would we be elevating Drake May for being a top 9 to 12 QB when I don't think his weapons are all that much better, Fizz, than what Cam Ward has in Tennessee? I mean, do you think that it's way better? I don't. So,
well, I'm gonna say this, Rock, and I'm kind of contradicting myself because I talk about how much I love these dog mentality guys, the ones that people hate on the most, and I'm saying how I sleep on Cam Ward, right? But Cam Ward came in as a 0-star quarterback in college, bro. Nobody wanted him. He a 0-star, bro. Do you know how bad you have to be for people not to want you? And then he ends up being who he is now. So if I keep preaching this underdog mentality, man, I gotta show my boy Cam Ward some love, man. So I changed my mind, man. Let's go Cam Ward year one. Let's
There
break
we
this
go.
thing down, Playboy.
There we
I gotta
go.
change my mind on that one because
And then
I can't talk about the underdogs and not give an underdog some love. So
yeah, I mean, I definitely love Cam Ward and just the aura, the vibe that he brings, to that team. He just ever since he told Shador Sanders, "Hey, I got better today. What did you do?"
Yeah,
I mean, that's
like
pretty awesome. That's really, really cool. And then Caleb Williams, JJ McCarthy, and Michael Penix. Especially with those first two, it comes down to coaching. It comes down to their teams. It comes down to they have just a huge ensemble of weapons. So I think they are two very strong candidates. And I put Michael Penix as a dark horse because I'm not sure about the coaching staff, if they can elevate his game to being top 12. But there's enough factors in there that I think Michael Penix should be drafted. I did see Vegas has him kind of low. They definitely have him as a dark horse because they don't think he's actually going to pass for many more yards than Bryce Young, which I was pretty surprised with. So yeah, that's why he's a dark horse. But we can move on to the RBs unless you have any other things on these QBs.
No, I was going to agree with you with the Penix thing. It's not him. It's just the staff. And we don't know if the staff is going to allow him to break out as a candidate. But with the weapons around him, bro, if he turns off that earpiece on his helmet and say, listen, I'm going to run this offense, we're going to figure it out, then maybe he gets it done. But we're going to get off the website, Rock. We want to show people some love. Hopefully they go in the description, click on that article, man. Read it for yourself. You got the running back breakdown. Got the candidates for breakouts. I ain't revealing no names. You got to go read it, man. Receivers, my boy put in a whole lot of work, man. So check it out. Make sure you show him some love. And the description is down. The link is in the description, man. So let's get up out of there, Rob. We appreciate everybody tapping in. And hey, now that we broke down the quarterbacks, time for some running backs, some tight ends, some receivers, and maybe a little bit of other things, man. So we're going to take a quick little break. Remind y'all to like and subscribe. Show us a little bit of love on that. And hey, we'll be right back, baby.
Welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate.
We right back at you, man. Like we never left. We here. And Rock, man, I guess we got through them quarterbacks, man. Let's show everybody else a little bit of love, man, on these breakout candidates. So
sounds good. We did have a question though, too. About those QBs.
Hey, listen, I'm pressing a million things at once. You talking about this question?
Yeah, what about that one? What do you think of that one?
Goodness, man. DR, man. Listen, I tried to skip your question, man, because I didn't want to have to answer it, but Rock had to bring it up. Salute to you for bringing it up. Let us know what you feeling about A-Rich, because we know you hate him, brother. Go ahead, do your thing, man.
Yeah, I did bring up before, if the QB of his pedigree, coming in as the most athletic QB we've ever seen at the Combine, Fizz. I mean, this guy is a monster. If anyone's going to do it, it could be A-Rich because of all the injuries that he's had. Okay. So these later breakouts that I have seen who do it maybe year 5, year 6, year 7, a lot of it has to do with injuries, Fizz. So he's been injured throughout most of his career. I feel like in the NFL, he's actually missed more games than he started. So if there is a chance, there is a little bit of a window, I just hope that he goes to a good situation. Like you need someone like Sam Darnold going to Minnesota and going into that ecosystem in order for him to be at his very best. And sometimes that's not even good enough, Fizz. They shipped his ass off. He was like, thank you, but we need something else. Yeah. So if you are going to have a top 12 breakout like that, you better hope that he goes to a situation. I don't think if he goes to Pittsburgh, Fizz, that he's going to have a shot in hell.
I've been hearing that that's if he had to go somewhere. I'm hearing that that's the team that will want him. So You don't think
Yeah.
that's the right team though?
No, because Fizz, who has gone to Pittsburgh recently and been like, oh man, they have found their home for the rest of their career. That
That's
ain't
true.
been shit. It's been terrible. We keep saying how great Mike Tomlin has been. What the hell has been going on with his coaching and just his Pittsburgh team over the last, what has it been, like 10 years? Jesus. They got in the
They didn't.
playoffs every year and just gotten their asses bounced.
They keep changing OCs though, man, and maybe they got to find the right play caller, bro, on the offensive side.
No, they don't keep changing OCs.
Well,
they keep sticking with the same piece.
Yeah,
Oh my
you're
god!
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
terrible
They
OC.
They
And
need to
then they
change
go
OCs
on.
is what I meant to say. You're right. We didn't see anything good when they signed the last one though, man. That Arthur Smith one was something different. But hey, man, it is what it is. Shout out, moms. What's up, mom? How you feeling?
Morning. Good morning.
And it is what it is, Rock. So, yeah, man. But let's get into some of these candidates, man. We got the running backs. You want to get on what position first, brother? I'll let you call it.
So with the RBs, I looked
Running
at
back.
35 RBs in this sample, Fizz. They have their earliest breakout amongst all positions. On average, they break out in 2.6 seasons into their career at 23.6 years old, Fizz. 82.85% of top 12 RBs break out in their first 3 years, Fizz. So if it's their first 3 years and they have not broken out, man, there is a very small chance that they're ever going to be an elite RB, Fizz. They have also, though, one other thing I looked at that I didn't previously mention. I call it one-hit wonders. That's basically they become top 12 at their position and they never do it again. Just like a one-hit wonder song.
Yeah.
It's just like, that one song, and it's just like that's what people know you for, but you don't ever do anything again. They just sit on their laurels. That's what I'm talking about here. They had the second highest percentage, 40.63% of top 12 RBs. They only do it one time, Fizz. So 23.34% of top 12 RBs are also breakouts too. So like they of all the top 12 guys that we can expect this year, about 2 to 3 of them should be, new guys who have never done it before, Fizz. And a lot of them come down to they saw the vast majority of their touches. They had high usage in the passing game or on the goal line, Fizz. That's usually what we look for when it comes to a top 12 RB. So I had 4 guys that I think could do it this year. Do you have any guys that you think have a very high chance of being a breakout RB this season?
Well, to get to what you were saying as far as the breakouts in the top 12 guys, I think a lot of times, Rock, what happens with the running back position, one, a lot of them, they get an opportunity and they lose it because another one gets drafted the following year, right? Think about James Robinson in Jacksonville. No one saw that coming. Nobody saw a late 5th, 6th, 7th round guy. These UDFA guys get picked up off the street. Those seem to be running backs that break out, and then poof, we drafted one in the 2nd round that we're paying more and we want more. But it's just like, it's kind of messed up because if I'm a guy that was a 6th round running back and I broke out, dang, why you replacing me in 1 year? Like, let me try it over. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really understand why or how that works with running back, but it seemed like that's the one position, bro. You can break an NFL record at running back and be a 6th round guy. And then the next year they draft one in the 1st round. And it's like, bro, did you forget I was here? So that is like the toughest thing, I believe, for running backs, man. It's just your draft capital, which could go into this year's class, next year's class. It just seems like those draft capital guys, to me, it really means a lot, no matter what production they put out there. And unfortunately, man, they get the short end of the stick. So
yeah, you can definitely. I'm going through right now, Fizz, all my hits and misses and underdog.
Yeah,
and there've been already a number of RBs where I wrote down the veteran was usurped by the more talented rookie. That happened last year with Rashad White. He got usurped by the rookie in Bucky Irving. And as you see down there, I think he is actually a strong candidate for having a top 12 season because he was number 13, Fizz. Sometimes don't overthink it. Players like him, players like Ladd McConkey, they were 13th at their position. They barely missed elite top 12 status. And DR also brought up
DR,
he brought up a question. He was curious on
RBs
that have done it after their third year. And I'll just give you I'll just be nice and just tell you who it was, so you don't have to. You can go check out the article though, but I'll tell you right now. Derrick Henry did it in his 4th season. He also went through injuries. Actually, no, I don't think he actually did. I don't have an asterisk next to his name.
Mark Ingram. Remember they had DeMarco Murray over there when they drafted her.
That's right.
So because I remember, Rock, I wanted Derrick Henry on our team. We took Zeke, but I wanted Jalen Ramsey and Derrick Henry for us to draft. We took Zeke, so I knew that was over with. But I remember DeMarco Murray went to Tennessee, and when they had Derrick Henry, I was like, damn, bro, Derrick Henry he shouldn't be behind a DeMarco Murray. So that's probably why the breakout happened so late, because of that. And they had just paid DeMarco Murray, I believe.
And I didn't give the same treatment for the skill positions as the QBs with the asterisks. I'll only put an asterisk if you missed games with injury. I don't have one next to Henry, so unless I got that wrong, he was healthy those first 3 seasons. He broke out his 4th year. Mark Ingram, he broke out his 5th year. Aaron Jones he broke out his 3rd. Mike Davis broke out his 6th year. Remember the CMC injury? And he just came in and just took over. That he was 6th year breakout. Cordell Patterson was a 9th year breakout. Raheem Mostert was a 9th year breakout. So those are the guys who have broken out after their 3rd season. So I believe that was like 4 or 5 different guys.
Hey, man, shout out Corey, man. He says the war going on behind me, man. The kitchen is on, it's blowing up, man. Now I got to switch it up. Was Corey over here playing?
No. I like the other one before. I like the war.
I'm going to hook my boy Schumer up, man. Now I'm on fire. All right, God damn, man. So good, Corey.
I just alluded to Bucky Irvin. He barely missed it last year. I think that he can have even more of the touches this upcoming season. Who are some other guys, Fizz, that maybe you think will break out this upcoming season?
That's actually a good question, bro. Because when we talk running backs, I know I saw, trying to stay away from the article because I wanted the people to go read it. But I'll just say this. I know a guy you have as a dark horse. I don't even know if he's a dark horse or not, but Omari and Hampton, I believe now with the Najee Harris situation, the eye injury and the pup list and all that, I believe, knowing what we know. Now, remember that stat I brought up a while ago about the Greg Romans running backs not breaking out until like a year later. So I'm not really sure if that's really going to be true with this situation because, one, the Chargers have an elite offense right now at this point. They have a solid defense, and we all know that they don't want to go out there and have to throw the ball 100 times a game, right? So I think Hampton the dude looks like a tank, bro. I don't know if you saw him at training camp.
He looks scary, Fizz. Bro, he looks absolutely terrifying.
This dude is scary, man. Like, imagine a lightning bolt running towards you in the middle of the street, bro. That's what he looks like. So,
especially with the mushroom cap thing on top of his head, where his head looks like it's like twice as big. It's just like it's even scarier.
Exactly, bro. So I think a year one candidate, man, I would 100% have to say Amari and Hampton. I know we already kind of put a guy like Ashton Genty there, so I kind of put an asterisk by his name because he's supposed to be. But
Ashton Genty, Amari and Hampton. Amari and Hampton I added at the very end because of the Najee Harris news.
Yeah,
he was originally not going to be in there because I thought he was going to be splitting with him. But if Najee Harris misses time, Amari and Hampton, Fizz, was 1 point off in my prospect grading for RBs for this 2025 rookie class. He's right behind Ashton Genty. And some people even prefer him to Ashton Genty. So
yeah, they do.
So I think Amari and Hampton, I think he has a very strong chance. And then I also wrote Caleb Johnson too, because I've already brought this stat up before. I'll bring it up again now. Caleb Johnson is only behind Ashton Genty amongst rookie RBs to have the most rushing yards. This is via Las Vegas odds. So if you're going to get that many opportunities and you're going to be the focal point of your offense, Fizz, I think Caleb Johnson also has a strong chance of being a top 12 breakout. So,
I'm going to ask you this before we move off and running back, Rob.
Yeah.
Who is a guy that could fall out of the top 12? Give me a guy that you think it was elite last year and it could take that pitfall, because I have a name that I don't want to mention because I love him, and this is one of my favorite running backs. But it seems to be a lot of tug and war right now going on in this situation. I think Breece Hall, man, is a big candidate right now of maybe not getting out of the top 12, but not giving us what we've seen on paper, because he even came out recently this week and said, hey, I know I'm not their guy. I have to fight for my job like everybody else, but I have to prove them wrong. But he basically kind of put it out there like, hey, don't expect no contract signing from me because I probably won't be here. So that's not a sign of a confident running back to, break records in his backfield if he doesn't even believe he's their guy. I would love to see him top 12, and I do believe he's top 12. But if we get a breakout season from these younger guys, he could be a guy for me that could fall out of the top 12 because of Justin Fields and, not being able to pass the ball, check downs. Breece Hall got an uphill battle to me to be in the top 12 is what I'm trying to say. So if I had to give me one big brand name guy, I would have to say Breece Hall.
Well, Breece Hall was not in the top 12 last year, so you're already right about that. So, cool. And I appreciate you giving me time to pull up some different things. So last year's top 12, Saquon, Gibbs, Bijan. This is PPR, weeks 1 through 17. Bijan, Derrick Henry, Achane, Josh Jacobs, Kyron, Kamara, James Cook, Chase Brown, James Conner, and Chuba Hubbard.
Bro, you said James Brown. I'm about to say, hold up now. James Brown?
I said James Cook and Chase Brown.
Revenge.
Oh my God.
Oh, what up, man? Now I got to give Breece Hall. He getting some revenge. He back. Go ahead.
So of those names, who do I think could fall out? I want to say Chase Brown, but because I think he might be a one-hit wonder, and same thing with Chuba Hubbard. But they're the focal points of their offense. I would definitely say Chuba Hubbard is probably the easiest because he was number 12. And I think they're going to be more of a pass-happy offense now that they have Tet. And I think Bryce Young takes a bigger step forward. So Chuba Hubbard, I think, is the easy one. James Conner, like I said before, sometimes we're not wrong. We're just a year too early. He was at number 11. Maybe he falls off. Chase Brown, I think, is tough because he just kind of came out of nowhere, and he was like the number 1 RB as far as like every metric you could think of. It was like him and Jonathan Taylor in like the last 6 weeks of the season, Fizz, that just completely took
and
over.
Honestly, Rod, it's funny that because I honestly believe that Breece was in the top 12. And the reason why is because he's Breece Hall, right? But the way he started this season is maybe the reason why he didn't finish. Because like you just said, Chase Brown being there is no way I would have put Chase Brown over Breece. I just, but Aaron Rod is kind of, he ran that offense a different way too. So that's pretty sure a lot of the reason why. But just knowing that Chase Brown was there, man, I'm 100% not banking on Chase Brown being over a guy like Omari and Hampton this year for me. I couldn't bet that one at all.
Shout out to Schumer in the chat. I sent him some money for some bourbon, and he's got a barber appointment. Man, I don't blame you whatsoever, Schumer. My haircut right now. Shout out to Psycho Billy's Barbershop in Columbus, Ohio. He's my barber actually wanted to do a collab. So I remember one of the first shows that I ever did, Fizz, with you guys, where I was like, man, my barber was schooling me on some like college stats.
I remember that, yeah.
He actually knew way more about college ball. I was talking about Will Howard not being a mobile quarterback. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? He had like a shitload of rushing yards. So yeah, shout out to Lincoln at Psycho Billy's. But going back to this, so I think those three or four guys have a very strong chance of falling out of the top 12. Make room for some of these rookies like Genty, like Caleb, and Amari and Hampton. So Kyron Williams, I'm kind of worried about just because he's been running so clean for the last 2 seasons. It's been like he's basically been like the new CMC as far as getting all the opportunities.
Yes. But most of his goal lines, he get them touchdowns, bro. He literally.
That's important.
Yeah, it is. It is.
For fantasy. Like if you're like Derrick Henry and you get like 100% of the goal line touches, man, and then you're a shoo-in for being a top 6 RB. So
and it looks like Sean McVay wants to get him the touchdown, because I remember seeing games where he was like, he tried to throw the ball, and he's like, you know what, just run the ball 3 times with him. No matter what, just give him Kyron the ball. So he seems to like the guy, man.
So yeah, I would say Connor, Hubbard, maybe Chase Brown. But the thing is with Chase Brown, I don't know who's going to challenge him. I mean, I like Taj Brooks.
That's true.
Ain't going to be no freaking P. Ryan. I can't stand hearing people talk about P. Ryan getting run in Cincinnati. Man, it's just like saying, oh, Zach Moss is going to get run in Cincinnati. I don't want to see any of that shit. But they're calling him meat. I heard in a different podcast earlier this week that P. Ryan and maybe Moss are going to play the meat shield role, where they just get all the brutal hits and they just keep Chase Brown, healthy. So, but yeah, we can move on to
get the receivers,
to wide receivers. So
the best position, brother, the one we love, man. Let's talk about the receivers, big dog.
So 42 wide receivers in the sample, Fizz. Now, this one was the whole reason I think why I really wanted to do this research, because a lot of people expect wide receivers to break out their first year, break out their second year. And if it's by their third year, man, they're going to just write them off. Fizz, wide receivers have the latest breakout amongst all positions. That includes tight end. So on average, it's 3.24 seasons into their careers at 24.36 years old, Fizz. 33%, basically a third of top 12 wide receivers break out during their third season. That is the highest third-year percentage amongst all positions. Fifth year or later breakout is 26.19%. That's also the highest amongst all positions. So there's so many guys that it's year 5 or later. Man, there's a decent chance that one of those guys in the top 12 is going to be a fifth year or later breakout. 57.14% of breakout wide receivers are one-hit wonders. More than half of the wide receivers in this sample, Fizz, do it one time and one time only. That is it. So the main takeaway I have for these wide receivers, it takes years for them to develop. The barrier for entry into the top 12 is tough. It's really hard to break into the top 12, Fizz. You have all these elites like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. They ain't going nowhere. Once you hit that elite status like a Devontae Adams, you're going to basically be there until I almost said to the day that you die. It ain't that dramatic. They're going to be there for their entire careers pretty much. But also, too, it is the most volatile. So you have the elites, and then you have all these other guys. They get it one time, and then they're out.
Yep.
So there's no guarantee that they're going to remain amongst the elites, Fizz. And then based off my previous research, about a third of the top 12 wide receivers are breakouts. So we can expect 4 guys every year who have never done it before to break out into the top 12 this season. And I do have, this is my longest list of guys just because of how volatile the position is. Who are some of the guys that you think could break out into the top 12 this season? I saw in the comments someone already put Rome. Rome is on my list. I think he has a strong chance of being a top 12 this season. He's got that alpha build. He's one of the best wide receivers I think have ever come out of college that I've seen. And he's going into a Ben Johnson offense where he's going to be the alpha. So I think he has a very strong chance, especially if I believe that Caleb Williams is going to be a breakout too.
Yeah. And to go, not before I get to my list, I did want to say, Rock, I think a lot of times it's so hard for those guys that have that 1 year breakout, because a lot of time it came with the opportunity, whether the guy in front of them got injured or their quarterback had a breakout season, so they had to have one too. And when you have guys like Jefferson, Chase, Lamb, they either had consistent coaching or a consistent quarterback or both. And I think it's easy for a guy like that to remain where he is. One, because of the talent. Don't get me wrong. They are, astronomically talented. But when you're in a system that's working and you have a quarterback that's there that's working, it's kind of a little easier, man, to have a Garrett Wilson who's been going through turmoil at quarterback and different situations. And we all believe Garrett Wilson has the skill to get up in that top 12 every single year. But at some point,
poor Garrett Wilson, man, he's gone through so much shit with
what I'm saying,
QBs and coaches.
Skill wise, though, we believe he's a top 12 guy. No question about it.
Absolutely.
But the good thing I like about this data is you're telling me he still has a chance, because 4-year, 5-year guys, they seem to have, they still figure it out. So I'm not getting rid of Garrett Wilson, is what I'm trying to say. So
he broke out last season. But so the question is whether or not he's going to be a repeat top 12 guy, come back next year, or maybe a return. Maybe he misses a year or two and then he comes back. So definitely think have within his range of outcomes to either be a repeat or a return. But like you bring up, he finally broke out last season. It took CeeDee Lamb until year 3 before he broke out. A lot of these guys, I think we get really spoiled with guys like Malik Neighbors, BTJ, and almost Ladd barely missed it last year. We could have had 3 rookie breakout wide receivers last year, and that would have been absolutely insane. But yeah, I think we have to be very, very patient, and this is another reason why we need to be patient with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, because that was going to be my guy. He was top of my list, bro, of a breakout candidate, man. Marv, for sure.
I think his QB situation is tough. I think his coaching situation, I know some people think that maybe their coaching is a little bit underrated. I don't know if that's the case, if they can't figure out how to use Marvin Harrison Jr. the correct way, because they obviously didn't use him the correct way last year. And it's just tough where he operates the best in the middle of the field, and he's getting throws from a QB where that is by far, he is the worst in the NFL when it comes to throwing over the middle of the field. He's even worse than Russell Wilson. So, and I think that literally has to do with his physical limitations with his height. So that's an unfortunate situation. I think he's bulked up to 220 because he was terrible when it came to contested catches last season. He wants to have more strength when he goes up to catch the ball. I don't know. I think it's Marvin Harrison. He did make my list because I think that they do try to figure it out this year. I think they just spent way too much capital on Marvin Harrison. If they do not figure it out this year, I think their coach is going to be out.
Yeah, I think so too, Rob. But honestly, I think they got a defensive guy. I think they need an offensive. I mean, I hate to hate on the defensive coaches, man. I get it. But, man, when you got a Kyler Murray who you paying all this money, you drafted capital on Marvin Harrison, you got all these offensive weapons. Let's get an offensive mind in the building, man. That's just what I like to see. But if I had to add another guy to the list, I'm sitting here looking at some names now, Rock. Man, it's kind of tough to crack that top 12 at receiver, bro. Because like you said, the top guys just stay there. They don't move. They don't vacate. This is my room until I say it's not. You know what I'm saying? So Marv is definitely a clear name. I'm gonna say just for motivational purposes, man. Let's get Travis Hunter up in there, man. Let's get T Hunter up in there. I'm hearing and seeing a lot about him playing exceptionally at cornerback. So I'm not sure if being top 12 receiver is a real thing, because if he might play this even 15% at cornerback, I don't know how he can beat out the other guys that are playing 100% at receiver.
So I heard this, and we have to keep this in mind, and it makes a lot of sense because people have asked, how can he play both corner and wide receiver and have the potential to be an elite wide receiver in the NFL? And it's this simple. On offense, you don't throw every play. So you're going to have your share of running plays where he won't necessarily be out there whatsoever blocking. Then also, too, if you are going to be passing on those passing plays, then you could be out there maybe 70, 80% of those passing plays. And if he gets enough of those targets, then I think he absolutely can be a top 12 guy if with how talented he is to make the most use of those opportunities. Because an elite wide receiver, they go anywhere from 25 to 35% of the target share for their offense. So if he is out there, I don't know off the top of my head how many plays most offenses go, but if he's out there on most of the passing downs, then I think he does have the opportunity, because not every team is going to be, running passing plays on 100% of their snaps. And if he's there on critical third downs on defense, I think he absolutely can do it. Because one other thing that was brought up that I heard is that for colleges, they usually college offenses for football, they run way more plays. Their TV timeouts are way shorter. So a reporter is like, are you going to actually be more tired in the NFL? He said, no, I'm actually going to be less tired because those TV timeouts are longer in the NFL and you run less plays in the NFL. So he might even be more fresh in the NFL, which is really crazy to think about. I think there's going to be a huge disparity in the competition that he has to go up against, where he's going to be hit harder and he's going to have to run fat. I don't know.
Bro.
I don't know how it's going to look.
You got to hit that weight room. That's for sure.
I'm not too worried about how they're going to deploy him. You don't trade all that draft capital to have arguably one of your best weapons in the NFL sitting on the sideline during critical doubts. That's what I've been saying this whole offseason.
It's true.
I wrote that before. That's fine. Go check out the draft guide, guys. You'll see what I wrote about Travis Hunter. Go pick one up. So,
well, Huffman said T-Mac. Well, what you think about T-Mac, man? Then we're gonna get to the tight ends and get up out of here, bro.
Yeah, Tedero McMillan. I think it's him. It's Travis Hunter, and my dark horse for rookie was Emeka Ibuka. But I think Tet and Hunter are the strongest candidates as far as rookies go. Ladd barely missed it last year. I think he's a shoe-in for it this season. We talked about Rome, talked about Marv. My dark horse for second-year guy would be Ricky Pearsall. I'm a little bit wavering on that only just because he's got a hamstring injury. I have no idea what his bill of health is going to be. He has to stay healthy the entire season. So I think that might be a little bit hard to think about. Rashee Rice, I think if he can stay healthy, he is a shoo-in for a top 12 guy. And then he would be a third year.
Suspension. If he get to 4 or 5 games, then it's kind of tough too.
That one's going to be tough too. So that one's kind of a long shot if he does get suspended. And then the later year breakouts. Chris Olave, George Pickens, and the guy that just got paid yesterday, Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton could be an 8th year breakout wide receiver. I think he barely missed it last year till he was outside of the top 12. He was definitely in the top 24. But would you be surprised that Bo Nix takes a step forward, is even better passer this season, that Sutton finally has a top 12 season? So Olave, it has to do with injuries. And George Pickens, maybe Dak Prescott, maybe he has like an Aaron Rodgers-esque season where he supports two top 12 guys, Fizz. So
he can, brother. He can.
Yeah.
Trust me when I tell you, man.
But yeah, we can move on to
well, we won't go top
tight ends.
12 on tight end, bro. It's you can do anything to be a top 12 tight end these days, bro. So let's go top 6. Let's go top 6 on the tight ends.
Well, none of my freaking data supports top 6 guys.
All right, go ahead. Well, when I mean, so go to your data, but when we talk about who we think will be candidates,
okay.
Let's just do the top 6 for the candidate, though.
I think top 6.
Well, I think
would be.
We know kind of the top 4 already. Like we don't even have to guess those. So let's keep it top 12. I don't want to throw it off. Do your thing, bro. My bad.
So, well, my previous article that I did two or 3 years ago, that actually was top 6. That's really what matters the most, Fizz, when it comes to fantasy football. I completely understand where you're coming from. But as far as just in the sample for this article that I did top 12, 90% of top 12 guys broke out their first 4 seasons. Only 9% broke out after year 4. So if you don't do it in the first 4 years, Fizz, man, you got a 1 in 10 chance of being able to do it at another point in time. 30% of these top 12 tight ends, Fizz, are one-hit wonders. That's the lowest amongst all positions. So we talked about how hard it is to break out into the top for the wide receivers. It is even harder, Fizz. These guys stay top 12 almost pretty much their entire careers. So we can expect every year about 4 not rookies, but just 4 new tight ends to break out into elite status. And before 2023, only 1 rookie broke out in the top 12 in between 2017 and 2022, and that was Kyle Pitts. But since then, Fizz, we've had Brock Bowers, we've had Sam Laporta. People think we're going through a tight end renaissance. So the tight end position has actually gotten really good over the last couple of years, and we have some really good tight ends coming out of this class. So at the very top of my list for rookie first-year breakouts, Colson Loveland, Tyler Warren, and I think dark horses are Mason Taylor and Terrence Ferguson. So what do you think of those rookies for 2025?
Well, I don't know what the Rams tight end situation looks like. It look like they still have like 3 or 4 guys signed. So I don't know what the pecking order is as far as Higbee and all these other guys they got. But I definitely believe Ferg is a dark horse. But I mean, you kind of hyped me up, man, on Coast and Leveling, bro. You kind of broke the mold as far as him getting this endless uh target share in the offense, that we believe they're going to pass it rapidly and get a ball to a whole bunch of guys over there. So um I'm even hearing Tyler Warren, man, pretty much as the go-go gadget over there, man. They're gonna use him as everything, right? And us knowing that their offense is kind of just anything, they could use him for everything. So I actually like those 2 young rookies breaking out this year. And again, in the top 12, man, I mean, who would they be replacing, right? In the top 12 at tight end, bro, it's not a lot you have to do to be a top 12 tight end. So, I mean, I do want to put a little bit of respect on the position because I believe like Evan Ingram should be and Njoku and, the regular names. But Pat Frymuth, man, he's definitely kind of falling out of that spot. So it's a lot of names that are going to be replaced. John New was in there, I believe, last year, and he's on the same team as Pat Frymuth. So this year, I believe 100% at least 2 rookies can be in that spot in the top 12. And Kyle Pitts gonna replace somebody too. So that's just how we gonna end up doing that one, man. So let me know about these tight ends, bro.
He would be a return since he's already done it before, and he comes back to being top 12 status. If you can bring up, someone brought it up earlier. I want to finish out these tight ends, but I want to get back to this comment from Richard Huffman when he says, "Explain the Neighbors and Thomas Jr." Then, if you can bring in that comment, but. As far as third year, I think Brenton Strange is a decent candidate for being a top 12 guy.
I like that.
Who's never done it before. And then fourth year, this is long shots. Isaiah Likely. Let's say Mark Andrews, something happens to him where he gets hurt. Would you be surprised if Isaiah Likely, if he had the entire tight end room to himself, could be a fourth year breakout? And then lots of people have been talking about Chig also. So we believe that Cam Ward could be a breakout this season. Who's going to be his second favorite target outside of Calvin Ridley?
You're right.
It is a long shot, but I think there is a decent chance with how athletically gifted.
It's a safety blanket for rookie quarterbacks, man. The tight ends, always a safety blanket, man.
Yeah, and we saw how good he was with Elijah Arroyo at Miami University. Maybe Chig is his new Elijah Arroyo. But yeah, so I'm glad that you brought this up, Huffman. Because when you look at this sample of this data, I had 6 rookies that broke out in their broke out their rookie year fizz. 2 of them were from this past year in Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. So, which is very, very rare. Puka Nacua broke out his first year as well. Mm-hmm. And then the other guys, the other 3, Michael Thomas, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. So those are the only guys that are broken out their rookie season. And what this points to me is that guys like BTJ, guys like Malik Neighbors, and guys like Puka Nacua, I mean, I just listed off literally the outside of Michael Thomas, unfortunate with his career with that ankle injury, took a huge dip, just totally fell off. But those other 5 guys are literally outside of CeeDee Lamb, like the 101 to the 106 when it comes to wide receivers. So if you do it your rookie season, you need to hold on to that asset like grim death, man. They are amazing when it comes to Dynasty.
It's kind of like LSU is a bad place to be if you play receiver. You feel me, bro? LSU is a bad place to be, man, for sure.
So if Tent does it his rookie season, if Travis Hunter does it his rookie season, those guys are going to be top 6 to 8 wide receivers in Dynasty football. But it is rare. Only 14.29% of these top 12 guys do it their rookie year. So I think it's pretty awesome.
There we go, man.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got. Unless you had anything else with these.
No. I wanted people, man, to check out that article that we got in the description. My boy then put in 40 hours, 40 days, 40 nights, 40 months. And hey, man, 40 energy drinks, man. He done put down to get this thing written, man. So y'all make sure y'all check that description, check that out. And you can go back on all the other articles because a lot of the times when we do these data-driven shows, it come from the articles, man. So today I just wanted to kind of keen in on the article he just wrote because I felt like, we need to know these breakouts, especially if we having these mock drafts and all this stuff. So let's see who can draft the ones that my boy Rock is telling you going to break out and see if it actually worked, man. Hold his feet to the fire because he said he's standing on his business, man, So we ain't ducking no smoke over here, baby. Whenever the smoke get to going on in the kitchen, Rock, we just put it out, man. Sprinkle some salt on there, Salt Bay. We up out of here, baby. So it's all good. It's all love. And those are the candidates for today, man. For the future, for the year 2025. Rock, man. Anything else going on, man, before we get up out of here?
Well, do you want to get to that last segment? We can do it real quick.
I do. I'm glad you reminded me because I'm over here thinking about getting up out of here. And of course, we got a new segment we're going to add in. It's called Ask Chat GPT, man. For those that don't know, there is an app called Chat GPT that literally does everything for you, man. You ask this app a question and you can get the answer, man. So without further ado, Rock, I know you said you had your questions already locked in. So ask Chat GPT, brother. What questions you got for Chat GPT right now?
Okay, so I asked it 3 different questions. I'm going to tell you the questions, and then you can let me know if we actually talk about these. So the first one I asked was, give me the top 12 in points at QB, RB, wide receiver, and tight end for fantasy football in 2025. It sped out its answer. And then I asked it, who are the best under-the-radar sleeper value players in fantasy football in 2025? And then the last question that I asked was, let me scroll. Gives these really crazy long answers. Who will be the most valuable in fantasy football in 2025? Wide receivers or RBs? Okay. So those are the 3 different questions I asked. Which one would you like to talk about?
The last one, the wide receivers and RBs.
Okay. So it says, ChatGPT says, in 2025, wide receivers are expected to be more valuable and reliable than running backs in most formats, especially PPR and half PPR leagues. Here's why. Positional stability. So wide receivers dominate top 12 consistently year over year. Players like CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase continue to post elite numbers in stable roles. RBs are increasingly in committees, often split in touches with 1 or 2 other running backs, limiting their ceiling. Then they talk about injury risk. RBs face more wear and tear. Wide receivers tend to play more games and have longer peaks in production. Offensive trends in the NFL. NFL offenses are increasingly pass-heavy, which elevate wide receivers. Draft value and scarcity. In 2025 ADP, the first round is roughly 60 to 70% wide receivers. Only a few elite RBs like Bijan, Saquon, and Jahmyr Gibbs go early. The RB position has more depth in the middle rounds, meaning you can wait to get value. Man, I'm reading through this, Fizz. We might get replaced soon, man. Some of these answers are so well articulated, and they're so to the point.
They are.
And then it says top scorers in 2024, 7 of the top 10 non-QB scorers were wide receivers. Only 2 RBs cracked the top 10. That was Gibbs and Barkley. And they required heavy work, receiving work to do so. And then it gives a table of the summary, and it's just the verdict is wide receivers are safer and more valuable long-term picks in 2025. After reading that, I think it makes a pretty good case, Fizz, for wide receivers. Maybe we should be drafting a little bit more of these wide receivers, especially with
brother.
People have been bringing up the warp trends, and I know that Coop, he has those multi-year warp. Mm-hmm. And Maddie did a whole show on the fact that the average number of warp players in the top 12 for RBs is usually 3 or 4. We had 12 last season in the top 24. So that was definitely an outlier season. So Mike, going back to the wide receivers being the kings of fantasy football.
They always in my heart anyway, Rock. I love me some receivers, man. You just want to break down one, or you want to go through another one?
Did you have one? Or
well, I do. I do. And
let's break down yours.
Break down mine. I told you I was going to ask mine live, so I didn't want to have it in hand beforehand. But I just asked, will Kyle Pitts break out again in 2025? And why are people tripping on fading on him? And so this
Oh my
this is what
God.
ChatGPT just told me. It says why he might break out again. He's healthier, fully removed from knee injuries. Last year, he played all 17 games, but was still ramping up post-surgery. A second full offseason of recovery could bring back that elite burst. Upgrade at QB with Michael Penix over Kirk Cousins throwing the ball. It's a major leap and what he had over guys like Ritter and Mariota and all that. He says coaching staff is better. His elite talent profile, 6'6", with receiver speed. He's still one of the most physically gifted tight ends in the league. That hasn't changed. He's just need better opportunity and usage. Cool. So this is the answer to why people tripping on fading on him. I literally asked him that. So this is what he said. He's going 9th, 10th round in some redraft leagues. That's basically a free square if the return of 2021 levels of 1,000 yards as a rookie. People got burned in 22 and 23, so there's emotional bias. People being emotional about it. There we go. I like this right here. Clouding the data. He still saw 90-plus targets last year on a bad offense. Travis Kelce, let me see. It says Travis Kelce didn't really pop until year 3. Same for George Kittle. And it says draft him before the hype catches up. If you're getting him outside of the top 7 tight ends, you're getting a player with elite value on a discount. The hate has gone too far. They said the hate gone too far, baby. Hold up. I like ChatGPT.
Oh my God.
He's one of the best breakout candidates of 2025. Do you want any deeper analysis? Nah, Chat. We all good, Playboy. I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
I'm about to hit Chat. I appreciate you, Playboy. Thank you, man. You feel me? So, hey, I just gotta let y'all know Kyle Pitts is gonna break it out, man. ChatGPT said so. Do you smell what GPT is cooking, baby? Because I do.
Okay.
Yeah, you feel me?
Okay, ChatGPT. They're cooking up something over there too. Dang, that's pretty good.
There we go. So, hey, man, I appreciate that segment, right? We got to ask ChatGPT some more questions, man. I think we're gonna let the AIs kind of crack the code on what we think, man, or what's going on out here. So, hey, we appreciate that, man. We appreciate it. My boy Richard Huffman said, good work. Hey, man, all thanks to Chat GPT, man. We did nothing today, man. We just let the AIs do all the hard work.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Like this entire time of actually just been using Chat GPT.
Hey, Patty, man, you know how we get down, man. All right, Chat holding it down. I'm holding it down with the chat, baby. All right, so yeah, Rock, man. Hey, today was a good one, bro. I actually hit you on the side message to say I like this flow, man. I feel like we got through all our topics on time and on point. And hey, man, this is a good one for the people, brother. So elite 2025 breakout candidates. If you need to go back and rewind this for your draft tonight or before the draft tomorrow, man, go ahead and make sure you do that. Hit that description and get that link to all the good articles my boy's been writing, especially the one about these 2025 candidates. And Rock, man, give us some wisdom before we get up out of here, brother.
Well, before I do that, let's get to Palmer Q's question, and then we'll get on a word of wisdom.
Boom.
He says,
okay, my bad, Palmer.
On a rebuild, would you trade away Jordan Mason for a 2nd and 3rd? And I guess I think is Jordan Whittington. If I do so myself, would you do that, Fizz? Would you trade him for a 2nd and 3rd?
Trading him away, yes. I wouldn't. I don't know if I could buy him for a 2nd, 3rd, and another player, but I'm guessing it's Jordan Whittington from the Rams. I'm guessing.
That's what I think too.
On a rebuild team, I would do that. I would definitely do that, man.
Yeah. The only thing though is like, I'm trying to think, why does he have to ask about one of our favorite players? I'm trying to not be biased, Fizz,
but that's why I said
we just love Jordan Mason. Because what if Aaron Jones, what if this is his last good year? What if Jordan Mason is the next guy up for the next couple of years? But here's the thing. Is Jordan Mason, I have to remind myself these types of things. Next year, in 2026, the rookie class, could Jordan Mason get replaced by one of those prospects next year?
I think
so.
Yeah.
If he can, then it's just like that makes Jordan Mason a more volatile asset, So you can't be too attached to those types of guys. I'm
gonna say it like this. I think he's gonna have a great season, but right now, as many as training camp, preseason, if he suffers an injury today in practice, that offer is getting taken away, and is no guarantee that you will even get that value back, or Jordan Mason is going to have the season that we want him to have. So if somebody offers you something like this, especially a second with a third, Jordan Whittington, whatever, but a second and a third, I'm taking that all day, brother.
Do you think you could hold him and turn that other third into another second? So maybe Jordan Mason gets the start, or Aaron Jones gets hurt. Could you get 2 seconds? Is it worth?
I don't think it's worth the risk. Nope. If that's just a trade I lost, but I lost by this much. Like, I'm cool. You can't win every trade, especially months ahead. Like, if he breaks out this year, has 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns, I'm gonna be like, damn, I could have got 2 seconds.
But he could be one of those one-hit wonders then. That's the thing.
You know? So if it's up to me and you offering that straight up for a second, maybe I think about it. But you add a third too and a player, I'm gonna take that trade, man, and bet on, I'm rebuilding. So it's not like I need this breakout season anyway. If he breaks out for you, cool. If he don't, I won. So
and then Patty Mills, he snuck in a last-minute order right before the kitchen closed. He says, what is T-Rock trading Chuba for?
You gonna close
I am trading him away, since we already talked about it before. We think he might be a one-hit wonder where he does not return to being a top 12 guy. I would trade him for a first and a third, Fizz. Maybe try to get a first and a second, but I would trade him for a first and a third.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I was real high on Chuba earlier this year, man. Then reality kind of hit me like, damn. I don't know, man.
He ran clean last year with how good he was. He was the entire offense, and that offense was not good. My point.
I think they're going to try to force these receivers to grow up and get better. And the passing game, I believe they'll try to pick up more than giving Chuba the ball as much as they did last year. So unfortunately for me, I took Chuba over a lot of people that I probably shouldn't have, and I kind of, thinking back on it, wouldn't have done it right now.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. So that's what I trade him away for.
That's it, baby. Well, look, man, we're going to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all coming through. And, hey, look, keep your notifications on, man. We might have that mock draft tonight. We might not. Y'all got to keep the notifications on to find out what's good, man, you know? So we appreciate y'all coming through, man. As always, the kitchen is available when it's available. Right now, it ain't, and we're closed out. Rock, give us them wisdom words, brother, and we're going to get up out of here, Playboy.
Alrighty for it, Fizz. So in life, Fizz, if you do anything worthwhile, you'll get hate and you'll get criticism. But if people don't have faith or love for you with your flaws, Fizz, then they don't deserve you at your best. Laugh off the hate. It isn't worth your time. And that's the word of wisdom for this week, Fizz.
I like that one, brother. Well, look, man, close us out of here. Close the doors, put the locks on, turn the lights out, man. Let's get it. And we out of this thing. Maybe we'll be back tonight. Maybe we won't. Keep the notifications on.